I am really excited to introduce you to a children's author. She's somebody who spent her life teaching, and I relate to that. As you know, I've talked about my family and the teaching background. And then my mother had a pet duck. So her book really yeah, her book really
I've never known anyone with a pet duck.
Yes, so her book really resonated with me. You can hear excitement in the background. The name of the book is Bing. So here on Author's Corner, we welcome Sarah Gourd. Sarah, thanks for coming on with us.
Okay.
So let's talk about Bing and what was the reason that you wrote the story? What inspired you to write the story? Tell us.
Well, I was walking in my neighborhood and I happened to see on the roof of one of my neighbors some baby ducks being born, and I thought, I'd never seen that before. And one of the ducks looked a little strange, like he needed help, and that's why I said, well, maybe I'll write a children's book about this.
Did you ever think you'd write a children's book? I mentioned you were a teacher.
Yeah, no, I never dreamed I'd do it.
Isn't that funny? So, describe what it was like. I mean, I think about my walks with the dog, and I'm sure everybody listening to us can relate to this. You're walking, you see all kinds of things. That is so incredibly unusual. I wonder what made the duck go on the roof.
I have no idea why he had all the ducks up there.
Yes.
It was weird. I've never seen that before, ever.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so you see something unusual, it just clicks with you to write, hey, I'm going to write a children's book. So you set about doing that.
Well, and the only reason I would write it was my daughter Nancy agreed to do the illustrations. He would do a heck of a lot better than I would.
Yeah, the illustrations are beautiful. The book cover is wonderful. It's simplistic. It's Bing. It's the word. It's the duck peeking out of the G. All of you can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and pick up the book, that's for sure. Or go to sarahgourdbooks.com too as well. So tell us about the actual story about this injured baby duck.
It's about how an injured baby duck is found by a young boy and how they end up becoming good friends forever.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting. So the boy finds the duck and wants to help the duck and helps.
Right, so he brings him home and takes care of him. And the only reason it's called Bing is because it was a poem and it had to rhyme with something. So Bing rhymed with thing. So I had to call him something. That's why I'll call him Bing.
I like that. There's the hashtag, something rhymes with Bing. So what does the boy learn in all of this? Because I think your book has a very clear message for children.
He learns how important it is to take care of an animal that was in need.
And is that the message you hope kids take away when this is a book that can be a gift, you can give it, you can read it to kids, and I think even adults can read it because I think it has that message, that Good Samaritan sort of message, and what you get in return. What do you hope the takeaway is?
How important it is for children to see. It helps children understand why it's essential to be kind and helpful to others.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's clearly what I got out of this. For you, writing the book, was it a lot of fun?
Well, it was interesting. I don't know if it was fun, but it was. When I loved it. One day I brought the book to the school nearby me. It was a third grade class, and so I read the story Bing to the class. And when I finished reading it, one of the girls raised her hand and she said, "Would you mind reading it again?" And I thought, wow, guess she really liked it.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a very high compliment. Very, very high. And on your website, you have a blog and you talk about ducks as pets, the pros and cons to consider. And it's the cutest photo of a little girl holding a duck. And and it's a different kind of animal. But you think about, and you say this in your blog, you might think, what other animals are good as pets? And
all animals are good I love all animals.
Right. So there's an animal also welfare message, I think, to all of this, and that goes along, to me, that resonated with the seeing them on the roof leading to you reading writing the book, all of that, finding the injured duck, taking the duck and nursing it back to health and befriending it. And there's animals really give us something, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And you talk about it. Your blog is wonderfully written. Definitely go to Sarah's page, sarahgourdbooks.com. And you talk about one of the good things about ducks, just as kind of a sidebar, as pets, is that they eat pests. And they do. They eat a lot of pests, don't they?
Oh, sure.
I mean, you listed them: cockroaches, slugs, grasshoppers, beetles that are very destructive, mosquito larvae. Wow. That actually is huge.
One day when I lived in Plantation, Florida, I had, can you believe, a pet spider in my bathroom. I mean, it was, for some reason, I don't know, I just loved that spider. I don't know why. And that was the only time I had a house cleaner in my whole life, is when I was teaching down there. And she came in and she killed the spider, and I was devastated.
Wow.
She had no idea it was a pet of mine.
Wow. And so it's like,
who would ever think of having a spider as a friend?
Right. Well, yeah, Charlotte's Web. So sure, that reminds me so much of that. Thing is just such a wonderful read, wonderful children's book. And as a retired grade school teacher for you, and then going in and having that experience with the children, that had to reinforce it and make you feel good.
It was. I couldn't believe when she said, "Would you read it again?"
Yeah. That's what, like I said, that's when you know your book has really, really resonated. Does it make you want to write another book?
Not really.
Yeah, stick with Bing. Yeah.
That was, I don't think of myself as a writer, but I just happened to write that one because when I saw the ducks on the roof, and I thought, and one of them looked like he needed, like something was wrong, and that gave me the idea to write it.
Yeah. Well, it's beautifully illustrated. Your daughter did a great job. The story has, like I said, a message, a couple of different messages in it, that's for sure. Sarah Gourd, thanks so much for coming on with us.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't have to go online.
Thank you.